The Resilience Across Borders podcast is intended for education, support, and inspiration. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer any professional, medical, or health advice. If you are dealing with or suffering from any psychological or medical conditions, please seek help from a qualified health professional. Hello and welcome back to Resilience Across Borders podcast. I'm your host, Rashid Zahidi, and also author of the Emo Gym Journal, which is an abbreviation for emotional gym, but it is a guide and workbook to get clear and stay focused on your priorities and institute better habits. In today's episode, we will talk about how to trust again after failure or betrayal. In other words, rebuilding emotional confidence without becoming naive either. So betrayal fractures more than relationships. It fractures assumptions. Say after someone lies or cheats, abandons, or violates your confidence, or after maybe you fail publicly or financially or personally, you don't just lose trust in whoever the culprit is, you may lose trust in yourself. So you question your judgment, you replay the warning signs you, quote, missed, you become hypervigilant or emotionally withdrawn. So from a psychological standpoint, betrayal disrupts your internal working model of safety. It activates threat detection systems in the brain, particularly areas associated with fear, conditioning, and social pain. So the result, your nervous system starts scanning for danger everywhere. So trust then is not rebuilt through just blind optimism. It is rebuilt through intentional work and calibrated confidence. So as we always do here, because we talk practical here, we talk about stuff that's been proven, evidence-based strategies to help you trust again without, of course, losing discernment. So number one is separate the event from your identity. After betrayal or failure, many people internalize the event. We've all been guilty of that. Oh, I am bad at judging people. Oh, I am not good enough. Oh, I always mess things up. This cognitive distortion or overgeneralization is common in both trauma responses and failure recovery, among other setbacks. So reframe any event that happened. It is not your identity, right? And you can do one of my favorites is write about it, write it down, get it out of your head. You can do a journaling prompt or approach where you write 2 columns in a journal. On column A, what happened? And then on column B, what am I making it mean about me? Then you challenge that column B. Is it objective or objectively true? What's the emotion? Is it emotionally charged? So example, worst case scenario, a partner cheated. That doesn't mean you're unlovable. You may, but if you're honest with yourself, you may put that in column B at first, but then you have to go and challenge that. And I'm pretty sure you'll find evidence to support that you are lovable. It's just like sometimes shiitake happens, but it doesn't mean you're unlovable, right? Or maybe you started a business and it failed, which most people that ultimately are like the success stories that you hear about, they failed at other things before they found one where they succeeded and everything was aligned with their skill sets and whatnot. So anyways, long story short, business failed doesn't mean you are incompetent. So not necessarily that. Anyways, write it down and then challenge it. So trust begins to return when you stop turning pain into self-condemnation. All right, so number 2, rebuild trust with yourself first. If you don't trust yourself, you won't trust anyone else safely. So emotional confidence is not about believing others will never hurt you. It's about believing that if something goes wrong, you can handle it. You can rebound from it and you can learn from it. You can become wiser from it. And then you can just move on and continue to live your life and not let it push you down, not let you destroy you, not let it destroy you and your human spirit. Start making small self-affirming commitments and keep them. Example, you can say, okay, I'll go to the gym once this week or 3 times this week and do it. Or decide you'll leave a conversation if someone disrespects you, which you should follow through, right? So set a boundary and enforce it. Start enforcing it once and then make it a habit, right? Each kept promise strengthens internal reliability. You build a reputation with yourself, right? So what is your reputation with yourself, right? So trust in others grows in proportion to trust in yourself. Number 3, distinguish guardedness from wisdom. Say after betrayal, the brain defaults to hyperprotection. You may withdraw emotionally. You may test people excessively. You may look for flaws prematurely. You may assume negative intent. So a certain amount of protection is natural, but chronic guardedness prevents healthy relationships. It prevents healthy attachment. So wisdom says, I will observe. Guardedness says, I will assume the worst. So instead of deciding someone is trustworthy or untrustworthy right away, adopt a data gathering mindset. Just think in terms of these questions. Do their words and actions align consistently? How do they respond to small conflicts? Do they respect minor boundaries, let alone bigger boundaries? Trust should be built incrementally, not emotionally front-loaded. So number 4, process the pain instead of suppressing it. Unprocessed betrayal or any emotion will resurface in a different way. In this case, we're talking about, say, unprocessed betrayals turns into suspicion. Unprocessed failure turns into fear of trying again. So research on emotional processing shows that suppressing difficult emotions increases stress reactivity. Avoidance amplifies anxiety long term. So you can use a structured emotional check-in. What am I feeling? Name it precisely. Is it anger? Is it humiliation? Is it grief? What is it? What am I feeling? Then, where do I feel it in my body? You can sit and listen to it for a little bit. And then, what does this feeling need? Does it need expression? Does it need rest? Does it need clarity, that I clear my head and that I get it out of my head, that I write it down, that I do a brain dump, whatever it is? Or does it need forgiveness so I can set myself free instead of holding on to that poison? So if you feel humiliation after a failed business launch, journaling about the lesson learned can convert shame into growth. And emotions metabolized become wisdom. Emotions suppressed become walls. And also, after you do the processing, the best antidote to a lot of these feelings is action. Do something about it, okay? Go to the next venture. Try something else that's maybe a different type of business, maybe something that's more aligned with your specific skill sets. Anyways, there's different actions you may take going forward from that point. But this work has to happen first. Number 5, redefine what trust actually means. Many people subconsciously define trust as believing someone will never hurt me. People are going to hurt you. You probably are going to hurt people. That's the reality of it. You'll see that in family dynamics, business dynamics, community, whatever you get involved in. There's always going to be some hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to hurt somebody. So that definition of believing someone will never hurt you guarantees disappointment. You may not like this, but it's the reality, right? So a healthier definition is believing I can assess risk, communicate boundaries, and respond appropriately when and if needed. Trust is not certainty. Trust is informed vulnerability. So Before entering, say, a new relationship or opportunity, clarify what are my non-negotiables? What behaviors would require me to step back? What pace of vulnerability feels appropriate? This turns trust from blind faith into strategic openness. Number 6, use graduated exposure to vulnerability. If betrayal has made you emotionally closed off, you don't need to swing from isolation to full transparency overnight. Psychologically, gradual exposure reduces anxiety responses. This is for most people. So, practice layered vulnerability. Level 1, share neutral personal something, right? Level 2, share mild preferences or opinions. Level 3, share a personal struggle. Again, in the right setting, the right environment. Be discerning, of course, always, but observe responses at each level before deepening trust and going to the next level with that person, right? So if someone respects your small disclosures and responds with empathy and confidentiality, not gossip or dismissal, you gather evidence for trust, and maybe you may move to the next level of sharing. Just take it easy, take it slow, and then see how the person responds. It's number 7, learn the lesson without becoming cynical. Failure and betrayal carry data. The goal is to extract wisdom, not build cynicism. Again, cynicism says people are selfish, meaning all people are selfish, right? Wisdom says I will pay attention to patterns so I can filter. So, say, unfortunate event of a breach of trust happens, then ask, what early signs did I overlook? Again, this is not beating down on yourself. This is just to learn something and move forward. Or what boundaries were unclear or enforced? And what strengths did I demonstrate in surviving this? So you are not rebuilding naivete, say. You are rebuilding calibrated discernment. You're discerning. So number 8, strengthen your tolerance for uncertainty. Trust always involves uncertainty. There are no guarantees in business, love, or collaboration. Those who cannot tolerate uncertainty, they either avoid commitment entirely or they cling anxiously, as some of the unhealthy responses or maladaptive, to use a psychological term. Emotional confidence grows when you accept uncertainty as part of being human. So, say, okay, practice or a practical use, practice tolerating ambiguity in low stakes areas. For instance, send a message and don't overanalyze the delayed reply. Someone is busy, whatever you don't get a response, don't just sit there and think, okay, oh yeah, start imagining the worst. Again, thinking all the worst things about yourself and whatnot. Launch a small project without obsessively seeking reassurance from other people, right? Or let a conversation end without demanding immediate clarity or reassurance, right? So resilience grows through exposure to manageable uncertainty. Number 9, forgive strategically, not blindly. Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. It means releasing the emotional charge that keeps you stuck. You may forgive someone and still decide they no longer have access to you. So you can write a private letter, not to send, just this is again an exercise for you for your own benefit and to release this emotional charge and to release yourself from this. Write about what hurt you, write about what it cost you, whatever you are writing or choosing to release, write about it. Forgiveness is for your nervous system, not for their comfort, not for their benefit. Number 10, accept that trust is always a risk. There is no risk-free trust, but there is risk with walls too. There is risk with isolation. There is risk with missed opportunities. There is risk with emotional stagnation. The question is not, can I guarantee safety? The better question is, am I willing to risk connection again with better boundaries and stronger self-trust? Trust after betrayal is not innocence restored, it is confidence earned. There's a difference. So if you have been betrayed or failed publicly or privately, you may feel weakened. But the fact that you are reflecting on how to trust again means something powerful. You still value connection. You still value growth. You still believe in possibility and in your own potential. Rebuilding trust is not about returning to who you were before. It is about becoming someone wiser, who can love, who can invest, and commit again without abandoning discernment. Again, that is not naivete, that is emotional maturity. So, as always, thank you for tuning into the Resilience Across Borders podcast. If you're enjoying it, please share it, please rate it, please give us some feedback. And of course, you can always pick up a copy of the journal that I mentioned. It's called Emojim and it's available on Amazon. You can follow the blog at resilience.com. That is ATRESILIENCE.com. Remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others and stay resilient.